the place that has its own problems. Now, you have got to go through your valley experiences. Tell somebody you got to go through your valley. But while you're in the valley, you must remember that you have his divine protection. I don't mind going through the valley as long as I know that while I'm going through the valley, I don't have to go through the valley by myself. I found out that I cannot escape my valley. You got to go through the valley. You got to go through the valley. But while going through the valley, we have divine protection. Tell somebody, I have divine protection. I have his divine presence. So in other words, you got to say to yourself that I have to go through whatever I'm going through. I'm going to have to deal with everything I'm dealing with. I got to suffer through everything I'm suffering through. You got to say to yourself, I got to agonize through whatever I'm agonizing with. You got to remind yourself that I cannot escape all the trouble in my life. I cannot escape all the hell I'm going through. I cannot escape backbiting. I cannot escape the threat of death. I cannot escape the attacks of the enemy. I've got to face it all. But the songwriter says, I fear no evil. Tell somebody, I got divine protection because the Lord is with me.